Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard list review. So I'm going to start off today by making an apology by saying I'm really sorry that I have not been answering comments for the last 3 weeks, and I'm really sorry for pretty much the last couple of months. I know some of you have been sending list reviews into me, and my Patreon's been sending list reviews into me, and I haven't been getting back to you. I must apologise for that. I have just been absolutely swamped. I've not had the time. I've been focusing on just getting videos up at the moment, but I must not neglect my duty to the Emperor and to my loyal patrons and subscribers. So I will be attempting to do a big backlog of list reviews going forward. I'm going to name them. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I'm going to put the names of the people of the reviews that I'm doing in the video title, so that way you know you don't have to watch like 4 or 5 videos or maybe even more to find which list review is yours. You can see your name and then you can get the feedback. Simple. So without further ado, this is actually one that I did provide a little bit of emailed feedback on first, but I thought I would do a video list review as well, because this is from one of my loyal subscribers. This is from Dagon Arnold, aka Goren Ironfist. Thank you so much for sending me in this list, and thank you for your patience as well, and of course your Patreon support is greatly appreciated. You have been a loyal Patreon for several months now, and it is time for me to pay you back with some list review goodness. So, taking a look at your list now, we're going to dive straight into it. I think I've given you some feedback on this already, but I actually thought it was quite a good list that I wanted to give feedback on YouTube so that other people could benefit from your sort of list that you've put together here. So take that as the compliment that it is intended to be. So, taking a look at this list, it looks good. Okay, it is a 2,000 point brigade. Okay. It is Imperial Guard, 101st Iron Hounds, and it is a Catachan Brigade. So, we have 2 HQs, we have 3 HQs in total. We have a company commander with chainsword and bolt pistol, and a company commander with chainsword and bolt pistol, and then we have Strachan. Okay, cool. You know what I'm going to say about the bolt pistols, don't you? I'm going to say take bolters instead, because they cost exactly the same amount, but you get double the shots, essentially. You get a 24-inch range with the 1 shot, you get a 12-inch, 2 shots at 12-inch range. Just take bolters. Honestly, if you're worried about WYSIWYG and modelling purposes, the average person out there isn't going to pay attention to it being a bolter or a bolt pistol. I mean, you should be able to cut the hands off and put a bolter on there, and you can just one-hand a bolter or whatever you've got. But what I'm saying is you should be able to get bolters on there. Most people won't notice. Most people will see that it's not a las pistol or not a plasma pistol and be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It's a bolt weapon of some kind. We don't mind. Strachan, what a beast. Can't go wrong with good old Strachan. He's fluffy. I think you might be able to utilise him better in your list, because you haven't got a lot of units which are really going to be taking advantage of his +1 attack buff. But we'll get to that in a minute. So, looking at the list again, we have 6 troop choices. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry squads. We've got 1, 2 with flamer and heavy bolter. 1, 2, 3 with missile launcher and plasma gun. Oh, and another one with flamer and heavy bolter. That's fantastic. I think I've reviewed this list, haven't I? You've made some changes since my email, which is really good to see that you've made these changes. This is kind of like a follow-up list review, isn't it, Goren? Because I remember when I first reviewed it, it was only a battalion, but you've gone up to a brigade now. That's fantastic. Okay, I like the list. Let me just have a look, scroll through, see if before I give some unsound advice. Okay, so Here's my concern, right? You have heavy bolters and missile launchers in your infantry squads. But Catachans kind of want to get up there, don't they? They want to get in the opponent's face and they want to start chopping people up. I mean, are you really taking advantage of the fact that you have strength 4 in combat? And are you really taking advantage of the fact that you get +1 attack from Strachan? I think there's possibility to save some points here. I mean, I know your infantry squads are, they're kind of going to be defending, and I kind of understand how you could use, the strength 4 defensively and Strachan defensively, but is that the best way to use Catachans? I don't know, honestly. I kind of feel like you want to be able to press the advantage with them. You want to be getting that strength 4 into play. If you stay taking Strachan, you definitely want to be getting your guys into close combat. So I think the flamers are good. I would be tempted to swap out some of the heavy weapons for power weapons on your sergeants. Okay? Your strength 4, so you either want to go for power axes so that you can wound marines on 3s, or power swords so that you can really badly get through the marine armor. It's up to you what you go for. Okay? I think looking at the rest of your army, you've got sergeant, that things that can affect your. I think you should make your infantry close combat focused. Okay, I think you should have Strachan, and from the points that you save getting rid of the heavy weapons, you'll probably be able to get like a priest as well. You can have 3 attacks on your infantry. That's pretty nice. Strength 4. That makes Guardsman a decent close combat screen, and it means you're pushing up, getting to your opponent's face. So he's got to deal with those infantry as best as he can. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I'm looking at your other units. Okay, you have Sergeant Harker, a command squad, and an Ogren bodyguard. You've only got 3 elite choices. I mean, ideally, you probably want another command squad with a banner. Okay, ideally. Because 1 command squad is going to struggle to buff 6 infantry squads. So ideally you want 2. Okay? If possible. The Ogren bodyguard, I think, is a good unit to go alongside Strachan. It can tank some wounds from if it needs to. And also it can get in there and really, beat the crap out of people. So I think it's a good enough choice. And also fluffy, because obviously Ogren bodyguards go well. Nork Dead Dog kind of style. Go with Colonel Grease. That's kind of like Ogren bodyguard and Strachan, isn't it? Fast attack, Hellhound, heavy flamer, Inferno cannon, scout sentinel, heavy flamer, scout sentinel, heavy flamer, a couple of sentinel chainswords, track guards on the Hellhound. No comments there. There's not a single way. Track guards were a little indulgent, but they are pretty bloody good on Hellhounds. So yeah, I think that's legit. And the 2 scout sentinel heavy flamers. Can you get more Catachan than that? I don't think so. Now, I can see why you're taking Sergeant Harker, because you're going to take Sergeant Harker, you're going to put him with your heavy support options, aren't you? Which is 2 Basilisks, Mortars, and a Lehman Russ. I think that's fantastic. I think you put Strachan in the middle of all that, you're going to be blasting enemies away for days. So that's really, really good. So yeah, the only recommendations I would make is consider taking advantage of your Strength 4. Consider taking more advantage of Strachan. Otherwise, are you better off just taking a regular company commander? If you're not going to use Strachan for what he is, which is a melee beatstick, and you can make your guardsmen melee beatsticks too. Just consider that. So you've got a fire base here, and you've got an attacking element as well, which is good. Your infantry can screen your big boom units until the enemy's dropped in, or if they're not going to drop in, then they just do it as a precaution. And then once the enemy reserves dropped in, get them pounding forward and get them chopping in close combat. Do what Catachans do good, and get some Catachan steel up in them. You know how it works. Now the second detachment you've taken is interesting. It's a Steel Legion detachment, and it's a Vanguard detachment, which I think is very interesting. Now you've taken 3 squads of veterans, all identical, and you've taken a heavy flamer, 2 plasma guns, a melter gun, and shotguns on the rest of your guys. Okay, you've then taken a couple of company commanders with chainsword and bolt pistol, and some chimeras with heavy flamer and multi-laser and track guards. Okay. Why shotguns on the veterans? Why a melter gun? I know I have said in the past melter gun is a good thing to have on the veterans, but hear me out here, okay? You don't really want the shotgun, you don't really want the melter gun, and you don't really need the heavy flamer, because Steel Legion get the 18-inch rapid fire, and I did a video recently called the Armageddon Death Zone. That's what you want your veterans to be doing. You want them to be just supporting your regular Catachans, but with some 18-inch rapid fire plasma death. Okay, you got a lot of points there, but you're not really taking advantage of the doctrine. You'd almost be better off taking that. You'd almost be better off taking these guys as Catachans in their current configuration, or as Talons, Talon Desert Raiders. They're the two that you should consider. Okay. Or, if you are going to go Steel Legion, dump the heavy flamer, dump the melter gun, grab an extra plasma gun and a bolter for your sergeant, and get las guns on you guys. Take advantage of your 18-inch rapid fire. The Chimeras, heavy flamer, and multi-laser, it's a classic loadout. It's a classic loadout. It's probably a good loadout as well for the Steel Legion, because they get -1 to hit when moving with the Chimera, so the heavy flamer is probably a pretty good choice. Yeah, and obviously, I don't know if I said it already, but your company commanders with chainsword and bolt pistol in this detachment, take the bolters. Take the bolters. So, I think overall, you've sent in quite a solid list. You wouldn't need to change a thing, and if you were building your way towards this, I think you're probably fine. Okay, a couple of bits that you could do with an extra command squad, and that's the only thing I think you really need. The changes I've recommended are generally trying to get you to be a bit more Catachan. Be more Catachan is what I'm trying to get you to do. But like I said, if you took the list as is, you'd probably do really well. It's just to try and, if you've taken Strachan, and you're taking Catachans, you might as well embrace your regimental doctrine. So I hope this video has been useful to you. I hope it's not coming too late. I know you sent me this in like December, so it is quite a long time before I got around to doing it. But I hope you found it useful. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your Patreon support. I hope everyone else who's watched the video has found it useful. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.